last month, I realized after seeing Bashar at the last CLE that I have a reinforcing mechanism that is saying that if I do get what I need or prefer, that it's actually going to cause more suffering. So my question is, can I continue just using the AAA formula? Will that be enough? Or do I need bigger guns? Do I need a bigger permission slip or some insight from Bashar that would help me finally let go of these fear-based beliefs that I've been using and believing my whole life? Thank you so much.
You can continue to use the AAA formula, but at the same time, what you really need to do is have deeper investigation into the motivational mechanism of why you would continue to hold on to something you say you don't prefer. So you have to ask yourself what you're getting out of holding on to it because you believe something worse would happen if you let it go. That's the key, the motivational mechanism of understanding what you believe would be the worst thing that would happen if you let go of holding on to the negative thing you're holding on to. Because you believe that somehow holding on to that thing you don't prefer is actually serving you better than letting it go. You are afraid that letting it go would cause something worse to happen. You've said so in your question. So it's the motivational mechanism that is the key of understanding, and you have to find out what it is you think holding on to this negative thing is preventing you from experiencing that would be worse. So you need more deeper, honest self-investigation as to what that would be and why you think something worse would happen and what that worst thing would be. It's not a fact, it's just a story. You have to really wrap your mind around that. It's not a fact that something worse will happen, it's just a story. But you're telling yourself that story or buying into that story and believing that story, and so it feels safer to hold on to what you're holding on to, even if you don't prefer it. Because again, you keep believing that the alternative would be worse. So you need to clarify what that actually is to you.
Good day. Hi, Bashar.
Good day. What would you like to discuss with us this day?
I would like to talk to you about counterparts.
Yes.
So, um, I previously discussed with you, and I have a counterpart, and I made the choice to sort of separate space because the relationship wasn't aligned.
All right. Sometimes counterparts are for that purpose.
Yes. So I kind of wanted to ask you, reading my energy, if sort of you can read that I have met my agreement, if my side of the street is clean.
By asking the question, we would assume that you don't necessarily think that it is.
Well, I just don't know. I mean, I have done everything I could.
To do what?
Sorry.
To do what?
Meaning, like, I did everything I could in the relationship to be as real and as honest and to end it as, like, sincerely as possible.
All
But I
right.
know that you have previously said that sometimes counterparts have, like, agreements.
Yes, but that can be the agreement too.
Yes.
Walking away can be part of the agreement. And sometimes it's the most loving thing you can do because you're showing the other being the consequences of the choices that they're making that may be vibrationally incompatible with the choices that you prefer, thus giving them the opportunity to either change or continue along the path that they are continuing, which would perpetuate the idea of separation between you physically.
Yes. And so I was just sort of saying, can you look at my energy and know anything
Yes,
about that agreement?
I know what you are saying, and what I'm saying is if what I have just said aligns with you, then you're doing fine.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you. All right. So I had a dream, and in the dream, there were three Black Panthers and a tiger. And I have spoken to you about my dreams, and I'm visited by many big cats. And
Yes.
in this dream, I've made peace with tiger. I still have fear about jaguar, and apparently I have fear about Black Panther because in this dream there were three Black Panthers and a tiger, and the tiger came close, almost sort of introduce them, and the Black Panthers stayed in the back, and then I woke up.
Are you afraid of your own power?
Sure.
Why? What do you mean, sure?
I mean, w-
Why are you afraid of your own power? What are you afraid might happen if you express your power?
what is power in your definition?
The ability to be your authentic self.
Am I afraid to be my authentic self?
Yes. Are you afraid of any reactions that might occur in your society being your authentic self? Are you afraid to follow your passion? Are you afraid of any kind of response to following your passion?
Okay. The way that I can answer this is I must be, right? Because I have the fear.
Well, what are you afraid will happen if you do follow your passion?
Probably just failure. That's the first thing that came to mind.
How can you fail by following your passion? Those two concepts do not go together.
Well, what if well, how does it
In other words, if you have an insistence or an assumption as to what you think the outcome of following your passion might be, and you don't achieve the outcome you insisted upon, you're going to call that a failure. But this is why the formula says to have no insistence and no assumption as to what the outcome might be of acting on your passion, because the real truth, the authentic truth is, even though sometimes you may guess correctly what the outcome might be, you actually have no idea what the ideal outcome actually needs to look like. And therefore, if you simply allow synchronicity to show you what the outcome actually would be of acting on your passion, and you're willing to stay in a positive state no matter what manifests, then in following the formula, your life will continue to flow. You will learn the lessons you need to learn. You will grow and expand your consciousness in that way. But if you have insistence on what you think is supposed to happen by acting on your passion, then yes, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, because you're insisting that you know best what the outcome should be, when the truth is you have no idea what the best outcome actually needs to look like.
Okay, so let me ask it like this.
Yes.
Is it possible I have a spiritual contract where the outcome is stuff that doesn't happen for me in the physical life? Because I do follow my passion, most of them. There's more passion I could follow, and I will do that. However, is following your passion supposed to support you?
Yes.
Okay, so what if that's not happening?
Then what you're doing is you're limiting your definition of support, because there are many forms of support. What kind of support do you think you need?
The kind that allows me to pay my bills.
Yes. So you're focused on the form of money.
I haven't been before, to be honest. It's
Then why are you now?
because I have increasing bills.
All
So
right. And so remember, communication is a form of abundance.
I know.
Well, have you used communication to communicate with the people that you seem to owe money to engage them and include them in your process, to let them know you have every intention of paying them, but to describe your situation and see if they're willing to change your situation in some way, shape, or form that makes it easier for you to pay what you owe?
I could have more of those conversations.
Then have more of them.
Okay,
And
well,
put yourself out there in a way that allows you to take advantage of all the different forms of abundance, such as
I
being
feel like
given
I
a
take
gift.
advantage of every form of abundance but money. So what does that mean? Like, what is
It
that?
means you're too focused on money.
No, meaning I use every form of abundance other than money because I usually don't have the money. So
But you can't discount it. You have to include it as equal to all the other forms. You can't shut it out either.
I know. And so, but how would I be like, what mental block would I be
All
showing?
right, let's start from scratch. Can you name some of the expressions of your passion that you're acting on?
Writing, singing, channeling.
All right. Are you saying absolutely none of these are supporting you in any way, shape, or form?
I'm not saying that.
What are you saying?
They support me, but they're not supporting me enough to support my bills.
Can you change your situation so as to not have the bills?
I would love to. What does that mean to you? What would that mean to you?
All right. Well, again, let's take it down to basics. You say that you are writing. Yes?
Yes.
What have you written?
I knew you were going to ask me that. I am writing. I've written books. I write prose. I write I write about words. I write fiction. I write about spiritual matters.
All right. And you said you are channeling.
Yes.
You are channeling to the public?
Yes, I just started doing life regressions per our conversation where you told me in another version of myself was acting out people's dreams.
All right. And are you charging for your channeling?
I'm in the okay, so maybe this is what you're telling me. I'm in a trial period because I wanted to make sure a litmus test myself and perfect my process. So I'm
Answer the question, please. Are you charging for your channeling?
not this kind. No.
That's the problem. Is your channeling not worth it, even in its present stage?
It's definitely worth it in its present stage.
Then why aren't you charging for it as an equal exchange?
Well, when I try out a new service, I like to do a trial, and so I offer the service for free. So I have, a subgroup, a test.
And how long do your trials last? Obviously, long enough that it leaves you incapable of paying your bills.
Okay, I received that.
All right. Are you willing to charge even for the trials? And why do you think you need too much of the trial?
I guess I like to make sure I'm doing things with integrity. So I like,
Do you see what I mean by not actually expressing your authentic power? You're too hesitant. You're too unsure that you're doing something properly. Stop having trials. Just do it.
okay, thank you.
Just engage fully. Jump in. Let go of the hesitation. Let go of the uncertainty. Just do it. Be your authentic self. Ask for an equal and fair exchange from the get-go.
From the get go. Okay, I can do that.
All right.
Thank you.
So, if you understand how to apply that to every aspect of your passion, things will change.
I'm going to work on that. It's
Oh, all right. Work on it for as long as you wish.
okay. I just mean, like, obviously, you have to go about the process of doing the things, right?
Yes,
Yes.
but without hesitation as to what they're worth.
And how do you put a price on that?
When you feel like you can walk away and feel completely satisfied and that you have offered a fair exchange to the others that you are giving your gifts to, then you will feel that it is a balance. If you walk away and feel that something is missing and you are giving yourself the indications that you cannot support yourself, then something is out of balance.
Well, according to that, I should be charging a lot more for what I do.
Maybe you should, if you believe that you're worth it.
I believe that I'm worth it.
Do you?
Okay. Yes, I do. Here's where
All right.
here's the hang up. The hang up is knowing people are in economic straits and then charging what you're worth. Isn't there like a gap? Okay, there's a gap in reality there, right? Because
The idea is, do you believe that what you're charging on its own is exorbitant?
not at this point, but if I were charging the prices that like what it's worth, what I know it's worth,
Yes. Do you not believe that there are people who would find that amount actually doable and equitable?
I do.
There will be people who won't, but are they actually your customers?
Well, there are a lot of people that are the people in the most need.
Yes. And remember, that while you are charging what you believe you're worth and attracting customers that are totally happy paying that, you can at the same time offer others who cannot afford it a discount. But that doesn't mean that you have to offer the same discount to everyone.
Right.
You can determine on a case-by-case basis when to share something with someone at a lower amount, but that doesn't mean you deprive yourself of what you believe you are worth for those customers who are just fine paying it. It's all about equating to different levels, being equal to different levels of exchange and doing them all. So sometimes you can offer something for free. Sometimes you can offer for something at a discount. Sometimes you can offer something at full price. All of them together will support you.
Okay. And you're saying, so at the price that I actually want to charge, I charge that. And then I will be in the reality where such people who can afford those things will find me.
Yes, absolutely. That's how it works. And the people that can't will ask you, may I have a discount? And when they do, or when you get any indication that they may need what you have to share and really want what you have to share and desire it, but simply can't pay you what you have expressed is your authentic worth, then you can decide to offer them a discount. You can work it out. You can negotiate. You can be free to do that, but you can be free to do that on every level. You don't have to just be totally exclusive on one level alone.
Yeah. I see my issue is the assumption of what people can do as opposed
Yes,
to attracting.
everything, everything.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Attract them all.
Okay.
You can work with each and every one of them to whatever level they are comfortable with. But the hesitation is preventing you from expressing your authenticity and getting a fair exchange for it.
For 37 years.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I got to change that pronto.
All right. Please do so.